Good morning, Jack. There's something I want to talk to you about. Do you have time right now?
Good morning, Mrs. Hughes. I was just relaxing in the living room. What's the matter?
There's something I need to talk to you about. Or rather, there's something I need you to do for me.
What do you want me to do?
You know how the marriage is next month, right? I want you to not come to that wedding, alright?
What?
I want you to be absent at the wedding, Jack.
Huh? Hold on for a moment. What sort of joke is this? Why would I not come to my own wedding next month? I'm the groom. There wouldn't be a wedding if I didn't come. The groom can't just be absent at the wedding, you know.
It's not a joke. I'm asking this of you from the bottom of my heart.
What? So you're really telling me not to come to the wedding? Me, the groom, not come to his own wedding?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I do feel sorry for you. I really do.
You're not making any sense. Why don't you want me to come to the wedding? Why do I have to be absent? It's already less than 1 month before the wedding. Please explain to me what's going on here.
I guess so. I do owe you an explanation, perhaps. First of all, my daughter found out yesterday that she was pregnant.
What? Rebecca is pregnant?
I took her to the hospital because she told me she wasn't feeling well. Apparently, she's been pregnant for 3 months. But according to what Rebecca says, you aren't the father of the baby.
Huh?
The father of the baby in her stomach is a young man named Roderick. He's a friend of the family, and we've known him for a long time. Basically, he's an old friend of Rebecca's. Which means that my daughter is pregnant with a child of an old friend of ours.
What is the meaning of this? So this means that Rebecca cheated on me with this old friend of hers?
Don't say cheated. It's such a strong word. The two of them were going out together when they were in middle school. But Roderick moved away before entering high school because his parents found a new job. He became distant to us, just like that. But Roderick returned to us half a month earlier. That's when he and Rebecca started going out again, apparently.
What do you mean, started going out again? She was engaged to me at the time, wasn't she?
Well, don't get so mad. A lot of things happened, and eventually she became pregnant. Rebecca says that she wants to marry Roderick, not you. He's Rebecca's first love and her first boyfriend, not to mention her baby's father, after all. As for me, I only want to grant Rebecca's wishes as her mother. Roderick is my first grandchild's father, after all. I would love it if he married Rebecca. Don't you think that marrying your first love is so romantic? Which is why I want you, Jack, to not come to the wedding.
I don't completely understand what you're saying. But basically you're saying that Rebecca is now pregnant, and the father is an old friend of hers? And she's going to cancel the marriage with me and marry this other guy instead?
No, you've got it all wrong. She says that she's still going to marry you officially.
What?
She's going to marry Roderick just at the wedding ceremony, but on paper, she's not going to cancel the marriage with you and become your wife.
What? Why would I do that?
You see, it seems that Roderick just quit his job recently, and he doesn't even know where his parents are currently. Which means that he's financially unstable. Marrying him would be wonderful and romantic, but since he doesn't have any means to support a family as of now, it's a bit unrealistic.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, that reminds me. Rebecca wants to raise her child with Roderick once the baby is born, so she's saying that she wants to live with Roderick at your new house.
Huh? You mean the new house me and Rebecca were supposed to move into at the end of this month? He's going to live at mine and Rebecca's house?
Yes, that house. She says she wants to live at that house with Roderick and her baby, just the three of them. Which is why we're going to have to make you continue living in your current apartment. If that's impossible, then I want you to move to a different apartment.
Wait, hold on please. Not only am I going to be robbed of my wedding, but you're going to take my new house as well? I'm the one who's paying for both the wedding and the house. I even took out a loan.
Stop being so petty. It's just a bit of money. You work at a large company and earn a lot of money, right? Think of it as your wedding gift to my daughter.
Huh? My wedding gift?
Yes, your wedding gift. It's also going to be your gift to her when she has her baby. Well, that's all I needed to tell you. Give your wedding ceremony in your new house to my daughter, her baby, and her new husband, all right? I'll let you be Rebecca's husband on paper.
Hold on. Do you even understand what you're saying right now? You honestly sound like someone straight out of a horror movie.
Of course I understand. What's so difficult to understand about what I just said? Like I said, you're still going to be Rebecca's husband on paper, which means that you need to pay for my daughter's expenses and also for raising the child. You're going to be the supporter of our household. So do your job as a husband, all right?
Jesus, are you really being serious? Is your head all right? I'm actually starting to be a little worried for your well-being. You're really 100% being serious.
Was what I said so strange?
Well, excuse me, I need time to order my thoughts. I want to talk to Rebecca about this as well. There's a lot of preparation I need to do as well.
Is that so? There's not much time before the wedding ceremony, so hurry up, all right?
Rebecca, I heard from your mother, but is it true that you're pregnant? And that the father isn't me, but an old friend of yours? And did you say that you wanted him to be the groom at the wedding instead of me? Was what your mother said true?
Oh, Mom told you? Yes, everything she said is true. I'm going to be going with Roderick to the next discussion about the wedding. You don't have to come anymore, Jack. I'm so looking forward to how Roderick will look in a tuxedo.
Rebecca, don't you even feel in the slightest that what you're saying is completely insane?
What do you mean?
You say that you want to appear at our wedding ceremony with an old friend of yours and that you want to live with him at our new apartment because he's the father of your baby. You're saying that you don't think what you're saying is insane?
What's the matter? Are you jealous? Did you want to go to the wedding ceremony with me, Jack? Why don't we have another ceremony once the baby is born?
Everything is so messed up that I'm not even jealous anymore. First of all, the fact that you had a baby with another man while you were engaged to me is messed up, don't you think?
You were looking forward that much to the wedding? The bride is usually the main focus of attention at weddings, so I thought the men didn't really care that much. But to be honest, Roderick is much more handsome than you are, Jack. Which means that it'll look better in my Instagram feed if he's the groom. Which is why I want Roderick to be the groom at my ceremony.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how you had a relationship with another man and had a baby with him while you were engaged to me. And how you want to take over the wedding ceremony and the new apartment, both of which are things that I paid for. I'm saying that all of this is messed up.
Well, it is a bit unexpected that I got pregnant. But what's done is done. Besides, we weren't even married yet, so who cares if I had a relationship with Roderick or not? It's my choice. Does it have anything to do with you, Jack?
Huh?
You're going to be my husband once we get married, so it's fine, right? About me living in the new apartment with Roderick, I'm only doing so for the sake of my baby that's going to be born. It would be best for the child to be with his or her real father, don't you agree? You can just support the child as their second father, you see? What's so wrong about it?
What do you mean, what's so wrong about it? Why you...
Oh, that reminds me about something Dad said. He says that once we get married officially, he wants you to help him more with his job.
Huh?
You already help out with the family business when you have time after work or on weekdays, right, Jack? If you marry me, you're going to be an official part of the family, which means that you're going to have a bigger responsibility in the family business. Dad said that he's going to be making you do more work. He even said that he's planning on expanding the business, so good luck with that.
Hold on. What's this now? What do you mean he's going to make me do more work? I was only helping him as his daughter's fiancé because he kept saying that he didn't have enough workers. That was my precious time off. I was already working like one of his actual employees. And without pay at that. If he makes me do more work, I won't be able to do my actual job anymore.
But apparently, another one of his employees left again, and he's having a hard time doing business. Isn't it the job of the family to help one another?
What do you mean he's going to expand his business? They already optimized as much as they could by making manuals and building macros. They're already pushing it to the limit with the number of employees they have. If he wants me to do more work than I'm already doing now, then he's going to need to pay me. Otherwise, it's not worth it for me.
What? You're his family, but you're going to ask him to pay you money? Since when were you such a petty person, Jack? To be honest, I'm a bit disappointed.
Are you serious? Then why don't you help him with his work, Rebecca? I don't want to help him with his business for free anymore.
I can do it. I know nothing about the work my father does, and besides, I'm pregnant, remember? You're a man, and men are supposed to work hard, right? My job will be doing household chores and raising the baby. Stop being so selfish and just do your best, alright? For me and Roderick and our baby.
Selfish? I don't know why I'm even talking to you people anymore. It's obviously of no use trying to reason with you. I don't care anymore. Do what you want. I'll do what I want as well.
Is that so? Well, it looks like you've accepted the situation, so I'm glad. I'll introduce you to Roderick soon.
There's no need for that. I need to do a law preparation first. Just leave me alone for 1 week.
Jack, hey, answer the phone. What is the meaning of this?
Good morning, Mrs. Hughes. Is something the matter?
What do you mean, is something the matter? Rebecca says that she wasn't able to contact you, which is why I contacted you myself.
Oh, Rebecca. She's speaking the same language as me, but for some reason we can't quite communicate with each other, which is why I'm temporarily blocking her.
What do you think you're doing at such a crucial time? When Rebecca and Roderick went to discuss the wedding ceremony with the organizers, they were told that the ceremony was cancelled. The cancellation fee was paid and the paperwork was taken care of, they said. They were told these absolutely unbelievable things. Just what in the world is going on here?
Oh, that? I canceled the wedding ceremony.
Huh? You were the one who cancelled it? Why would you do such a thing?
Because I won't be going to the wedding? Do you have a problem with that?
Problem?
I mean, It wasn't going to be my wedding, but that of Rebecca and the guy she cheated on me with, right? I have no duty to pay for the wedding ceremony of other people. It's my money, so it shouldn't be a problem, right?
My wedding? My money? You say it like everything is yours and only yours. What about Rebecca and Roderick? It was their wedding as well.
But I was the one who paid for the wedding, right? You said you would pay for half of it after the wedding, as a wedding gift to me and Rebecca. But at the present moment, it was me who had paid for everything.
Well, I guess that's true, but you just canceled the wedding without telling us anything about it. Rebecca was so looking forward to the wedding. This is so cruel of you.
I was looking forward to the wedding as well, until last week when you told me not to come to it. Anyways, I'm not going to pay for the wedding of someone else. If you want to have a wedding, then have Rebecca and her friend pay for it. You just have to plan a new wedding from the start.
But this wedding was being planned for so long. It's such a waste. Do you realize what you've done?
By the way, is the wedding ceremony the only thing you wanted to talk to me about? Is there anything else you need to say?
Huh? What do you mean, anything else?
There are a lot of things, right? Like how I sold the new apartment or stuff.
What? You sold the new apartment?
Yep. Luckily, I was able to get rid of the loan as well. A friend of mine works at a real estate company, so it was thanks to him. It was a well-positioned plot of land, so apparently they were immediately able to find a buyer.
What? Why would you do such a thing? That was supposed to be where Rebecca and my grandchild were going to live.
I sold it because it was my house and land. I paid for everything over there as well, so it was my property. I have no use for a house I'm not going to live in.
Your actions are so selfish. Just what are you thinking?
Oh, speaking of selfish actions, I'm not going to be able to help you with your husband's business anymore. I got rid of everything that I made.
What?
The manuals and everything else that I introduced to optimize work efficiency. All of it. Both the physical and digital information I deleted. Tell your husband to have good luck with going back to the state the business was in before I came in to help.
What? Why?
What do you mean, why? I was never even an employee of the company. I was just an outsider. Isn't it up to me as to what I do with what I make?
This is going to be bad for us. Now they won't even be able to go about everyday tasks. They can't expand their business either if they go back to their former state.
Don't you think that the fact that the business can't even go about everyday tasks now, that they don't have the work I did for them, just as the boss's daughter's fiancé, and that I was forced to do the work for no pay, is a bit messed up?
Come back and put everything back in its place. Everyone's going to suffer if my husband can't do his job anymore.
Sorry, but I don't want to do any such thing. And what do you mean everyone's going to suffer? I'm certainly not. And I don't think the employees are either, because they're going to be quitting tomorrow.
Huh? They're quitting?
To be honest, the working conditions at your husband's company are perverse to the extreme. There aren't many employees, which means that each person has to do a huge amount of work. It's common for employees to work overtime until late at night, and they don't even get paid for it. The salary itself is low as well. Not to mention that your husband makes me, a complete outsider, do as much work or even more as a regular employee. There are plenty other things that probably touch on the law. Which is why I told the employees about how much money they would be paid at other companies in the same industry, and about how employees are treated and how they're paid at my actual job. I even introduced them to a company an acquaintance of mine works at. I gave them the name card of a recruiter to this company as well, since apparently they were hiring. They seemed to be very happy with what I had done for them, and it seems they're all going to turn in their letters of resignation tomorrow, at once.
What? Hold on a minute.
Apparently they're going to use up all their paid vacation before they quit though. No one's going to come anymore.
But how is my husband supposed to continue his business now? What are we going to do with the no employees? What are you going to do about this?
I don't know. It's not my problem what your husband does from now. Probably the Department of Labor Standards will decide what to do with him and his business. Because I reported everything that was happening at your husband's company to them earlier today.
What? What do you mean the Department of Labor Standards?
I went to the Labor Standards Inspection Office with proof of illegally long working hours and of unpaid overtime. They'll probably pay a visit sooner or later.
Just what have you done? If the Department of Labor comes to inspect us, then the company will truly be ruined.
Oh, so you did actually realize that what your husband was doing was illegal.
Not only that, but what are our neighbors and relatives going to say when they find out? What am I going to tell my sister-in-law when the company that's been going on since my father's great-grandfather collapses?
It's alright. You don't need to worry about that.
What?
I already explained the situation to all your relatives, both about what happened to me and what happened with you people.
What? That was none of your business.
The wedding was canceled, so I explained the whole situation to them, in detail, and also apologized for canceling the wedding so abruptly. I gave them printed out copies of you and Rebecca's conversations with me on text. They were actually quite sympathetic to what I had to say.
But...
They accepted that the wedding had to be canceled once I explained everything to them. They said me and Rebecca getting married was out of the question. Thank God the whole family isn't insane.
Wait, marriage cancellation? So you're not even going to marry Rebecca anymore?
Wasn't that obvious? There's no way I'm marrying Rebecca after everything you people did. The fact that this happened before we got married is the silver lining. Oh, I'll contact you again at a later time with the alimony for the marriage cancellation. A lawyer will probably get into contact with you. Please talk to my lawyer and not me directly from now on.
Wait a minute. Why you? Do you think you can just get away with it after everything you've done to us? There's a baby inside Rebecca's stomach. But you went out of your way to destroy our company. How cruel must you be? You're saying you don't care about Rebecca or her baby?
It's none of my business whether the whole house collapses or not. I'm scared by the very fact that people like you even exist.
What?
Both Rebecca, who gets pregnant with another man even though she's married, and after that says she's going to appear at our wedding ceremony with the other guy and live at the apartment that was supposed to be ours with him, and you, the parents who supported all of this madness and who treat me like some sort of slave. All of you should go to hell.
What do you mean, treat me like a slave? I never meant to do such a thing.
What was I to you people if not a slave? You tried to steal the wedding ceremony and the apartment I paid for, and you even tried to make me pay for Rebecca and her family's living expenses in return for letting me be her husband. Your husband was even trying to make me do even more work for him, when he was never even paying me. How much do you have to treat me like a piece of garbage until you people are satisfied?
No, it's not like that. You're misunderstanding. That's not what we meant when we said those things to you. You're making it seem like we're evil or something.
Making it seem like we're evil. So you're saying that you aren't? Then is it alright I do these same things to you? Suppose I had an ex-girlfriend who also happened to be an old friend of mine. I accidentally make her pregnant, so now I'm going to go to the wedding ceremony with her instead of Rebecca, and live with her in the new apartment instead of Rebecca. Oh, and I want Rebecca to pay for all of it. Also, I'll let her be my wife on paper, so I also want her to pay for our living expenses and the expenses for raising the child. Lastly, I want her to work at my family business for no pay as well. What if I told you that? You're saying that you would just forgive me? Because that's the situation from my point of view.
But you're a man and Rebecca is a woman.
It seems there's no point talking to you. Anyways, my lawyer is going to be contacting you soon, I think. Please don't contact me directly from now on.
Wait, I'm sorry. Let's talk things through, why don't we? I think we both have misunderstandings.
Please talk to my lawyer about it. Oh, and I found out about this afterwards, but it seems like this Roderick of yours has a wife and children. He apparently has 3 kids.
What? What?
Well, that's all I have to say, I guess. Goodbye. After that, I blocked all of Rebecca's family and had the lawyer my manager introduced me to take care of everything after that. Apparently, at the conversation that was held between my lawyer and Rebecca's family, a few days later, Rebecca and her mom made an excuse saying that Jack was going to be Rebecca's husband, so he thought it was alright to depend on him. Rebecca's dad said some nonsense like, "I reported you to the Department of Labor as well, so now we're even." I don't know whether to laugh or to sigh. Roderick, on the other hand, kept trying to ask for his actual wife's forgiveness, who I had told everything about. He was shouted at by my parents as well. I had the lawyer be as ruthless as he could to them, and in the end, Rebecca was forced to pay $10,000 in alimony, which included the cancellation fee for the wedding, while Roderick was forced to pay an alimony to both me and his wife, who divorced him soon after finding out about the incident. He cried and begged her not to divorce him, but in the end, she placed a restraining order on him and cut ties completely. After that, the Department of Labor went to inspect Rebecca's father's business. This, together with multiple lawsuits filed by former employees on unpaid overtime, caused the collapse of Rebecca's father's company. Apparently, he tried asking his relatives for help, but they all turned their backs on him. The family was forced to sell their house, and now they live in a shabby little apartment. After the whole incident, they could no longer contact Roderick, and now Rebecca constantly cries because she doesn't know what to do with the baby. She sends me letters through my lawyer begging for me to do something, but I just ignore it since all of her misfortune she brought on herself. I just hope she learns her lesson and lives an honest life from now, no longer trying to take advantage of people. I, on the other hand, was a bit depressed at my complete lack of ability to judge people's character. But my parents and friends and colleagues all showed support for me, and now I feel a lot better. I'm now living the same life I used to before meeting Rebecca. My goal now is to completely forget about such awful people and make myself a better man, so that I might one day meet someone I could truly love.
Hello there, Emma. I'm just messaging to tell you that you should marry Gerald and not Tony.
Mimi, please, how many times have we already had the same conversation? The man that I've been dating this whole time is Tony, and he's the man I'm going to marry.
What are you talking about? I need to make sure that Gerald gets married before his brother. I realized that when Tony brought you home with him that I had to do something to help Gerald find a wife quickly. So anyways, that's why you're going to be marrying Gerald instead. And I won't take no for an answer.
Mimi, you can say whatever you'd like, but it isn't going to change my mind about this. I'm going to marry Tony, and that's final. I mean, I don't even think I've spent more than an hour cumulatively with Gerald.
But I'm sure that you would come to love him if you just knew him a little better. I promise that he really is an amazing guy, and you wouldn't regret marrying him. Don't make me force this to happen. Don't forget that the two of you are married now. If you try and break this off or do anything to ruin the fact that you're engaged to Gerald, I will sue you into oblivion. Do you understand?
I seriously have no idea how to even respond to this, but please don't spout this crazy nonsense and then threaten me with legal action. Anyways, I have to go. Hey, Tony, I'm really sorry to bug you while you're away on your business trip, but it's just that your mom started talking to me about marrying your brother again.
You're kidding me. I thought that you talked to her about that.
In fact, apparently in her head, she seems to think that Gerald and I are already engaged or something. There was one time she told me that if I broke off my engagement with him, that she would sue me.
Emma, I am so sorry that you're having to deal with all this right now. I wish my mom would stop all this nonsense.
I mean, I wonder how Gerald himself feels about all this. Probably doesn't like being put in this situation any more than I do. Feels like your mom would be the kind of person to push this, whether or not the both of us wanted it or not.
I think you're probably right about that. But actually, I talked to Gerald a little bit about this earlier.
Really? I didn't know you two were still talking. When was the last time that you even had a good chat with each other? If I remember correctly, you two haven't been the closest of people ever since Gerald quit his job at the big company and shut himself up in his room.
I know that it seems that way, but that's not what's really happening at all.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that the real reason why he quit his first job was because he was in the process of publishing his first book.
Oh, really? I had no idea that Gerald wrote anything.
Well, it's already a bestseller and has even been picked up by some streaming service to be turned into a show.
That's amazing. He must be so proud.
I would think so. But he's basically doing all of this online, so he hasn't had the need to go into the office or even leave his room, really. Besides, he's always more of an indoor person anyways. I think he's probably glad to have less reasons to leave the house now.
Oh, I see. So that's how things are.
But I think that he still hasn't told anyone that he's gone and published his book already. I think he's just worried that if Mom finds out, she will just use it to brag to everyone she knows about him and just never give him any peace or privacy. So that's why he's been pretending to be the antisocial shut-in this whole time. He's really just waiting for the right timing to come forward about this since he knows it's going to be a big deal. I think that Mom knows that you also work for a big company though, and so she wants you and Gerald to get married because she thinks he needs someone to take care of him.
So then, I think that I'm going to marry your brother and do everything for him on top of that?
Well, that's what my mom thinks, but Gerald doesn't want that at all.
Oh, well, as long as he understands that it isn't going to happen, that's good.
Right. So anyways, while we were talking, he explained all this to me and apologized for seeming to act so standoffish. But now the problem is how to move forward from here. In fact, Gerald was kind of hoping that you and I would be able to help him come out to the world as an author.
He wants our help with that. How so?
Well, the first thing I should let you know is that Gerald already has a fiancée.
Hold on a second, he does? I had no idea.
But yesterday, my mom was going on about how he needs to marry you again. Gerald mentioned something about already being engaged, however, and I guess my mom just assumed that he meant he was engaged to you. She thought that he was already in on her plan and was moving forward with it. You know that my mom probably wouldn't even listen to anything that proved the contrary.
Wow, your mom just really lives in her own world sometimes, doesn't she?
She has always been like this though. Ever since we were little, our mom has always tried to control every little thing we did and manage our lives.
You've told me a little bit about that before, but I feel bad for your brother having to deal with that.
But now that Mom has got it in her head that Gerald is engaged to you, he is worried that that is going to make things very difficult with his own fiancée, and that is what he wants our help with. So we're going to wait for a day when Mom is at home for all of us to meet and talk face to face.
Wow, this is all so much. You've been thinking about this a lot.
Well, this is going to be the talk where we can all finally decide how to get my mom out of our lives once and for all.
That's a pretty heavy task, but if you want help, just let me know what I can do.
Hello there, Emma. I assume the preparations for the wedding are continuing along nicely? And I imagine that you've already divorced Tony, yes?
I actually haven't done that at all, actually.
Excuse me? What are you doing? You need to get a divorce right now.
That's just not going to happen. In fact, Gerald said that it was a surprise for you that I wouldn't not be divorcing Tony, in fact.
A surprise for me? What is that supposed to mean?
I don't really know all the details, and can't say any more than this. I also have to go right now. Bye!
I see. Maybe Gerald is planning some kind of dramatic way to announce his marriage to you for everyone. Well, if he wants this to be a surprise, then I guess I won't ask any more questions either. Emma, where are you? Why haven't you arrived yet? You know you need to get here early for makeup and to fit into your dress. You're so late already. Emma, answer me right now. I have had just about enough of this nonsense, Emma.
Sorry, what are you talking about right now, Mimi?
I I mean that you are supposed to marry Gerald so that you can take care of him. But now I've just been told that you've made a last-minute cancellation and you're not even going to be here? How could you just leave my poor boy at the altar like that?
I don't really know how else to say this, but Gerald and I were never going to get married. In fact, I'm on my honeymoon right now, actually.
What do you mean you're on your honeymoon?
I mean that Tony and I are on our honeymoon right now. And I suppose it's a good time as any to say that Tony and I got married in secret about 2 weeks ago.
But I don't get it. Gerald is here and he's still getting ready for the wedding.
Oh, I see. Well, either way, Tony and I have no intention of separating, and I was never going to marry Gerald either.
I won't let you get away with this. I mean, just who do you think is going to pay for all of this? You know that Gerald doesn't work. He can't afford something like this.
I don't know what is happening over there, and I don't want to. Please leave Tony and I out of it, okay? Now, goodbye.
Emma, you get back here right now and explain what's going on. What is going on here? I am still so confused.
What are you talking about this time, Mimi?
I mean that Gerald, my poor sweet little Gerald.
What about Gerald? Did something happen?
Well, he had to cancel the wedding since his bride never showed up. So he told me that he would take care of the cleanup and just go home. But then after I left, apparently some totally random lady showed up and Gerald married her.
So then the wedding wasn't canceled after all.
I guess not, but I don't even know who this person is.
I'd probably guess it's the woman that Gerald was dating and then engaged to.
What are you talking about? Gerald wasn't seeing anyone because he was supposed to be marrying you. I think I would know if my son was engaged to someone.
Are you really sure about that?
Of course I am. But this is all your fault. You're the one making this happen. You stabbed my son in the back, and now you've made him marry some stranger out of desperation. How do you sleep at night?
Mom, you've got to stop this. It's getting ridiculous.
Tony, what is this all about?
Did you really have no idea that Gerald was seeing this girl this whole time?
Why are you talking to me about your brother? If you're mad at him for trying to steal your wife, go talk to him about it.
Mom, he was never trying to do anything like that. You were the one that got it in your head to try and set up Kenna with Gerald, but neither of them wanted that. Gerald tried to tell you that he was already engaged, but you only heard what you wanted to hear and thought that it meant to Emma. You always do this. You never listen to when other people try to say when you're wrong.
How can you say something like that to your own mother?
Because it's true. Speaking of, have you seen Gerald's room?
What about his room? Give me a moment. I don't get it. What is going on? The whole room is totally empty. There's nothing left.
Well, it was all Gerald's idea, really. Although he left you a note explaining things in your mailbox. I would read that very carefully so you can understand how Gerald and I really feel about all of this. Although it's way too late to change our minds now. This is my last goodbye, Mom. Have a nice life.
Wait, no, Tony! I still don't understand!
In the end, Gerald stopped talking to his mom without ever telling her what he really did for a living. Now he lives with his wife close to her parents. Tony and I have also moved recently as part of a job transfer. The new job was partially for better pay, but also because Tony didn't want his mom barging into the office and embarrassing him. She actually did do that, but it was too late and we were already gone. Also, Tony asked the receptionist at his office to tell her that we had quit. With no way to track us down, Mimi was left with no family to turn to and lives out her days in her big empty house all by herself.
Hey, Sam. I put the papers you need to complete on your desk. What? Alan? The data you need is in the USB I put on your desk with the papers, so continue the work. It's on a big deal we're making with A corporations. But I was going to go straight home after work today. Huh? I'm going to go straight home after I have a meeting with some of our clients. That's what's written on the schedule board of our department, right? Didn't you read it? What? Really? It said that on the schedule board? Besides, The papers regarding the deal we're making with A Corporations is your work, isn't it, Alan? Based on the date, you should already be halfway done with the project. Which means that I can't just pick up where you left off without any prior knowledge. Then don't go home and stay at the office. Huh? As the son of the senior managing director, I'm giving you work to do. Which means that taking care of these papers is now your job. Who you are doesn't matter when it comes to your job. Besides, you shouldn't be taking advantage of your connections like that in the first place. Shut up and just do the work, will you? Just because Alice, who you always used to push your work on, has been hospitalized because of an accident, and I'm the only person that entered this company at the same time as him, doesn't mean that you can just push your work on me like you did to him. Don't think you can take advantage of me, please. The meeting with our clients is about to begin, so excuse me. Hey, Sam! Come back here!
Good afternoon, Sam. Sorry for having to leave work so suddenly because I was hospitalized.
Good evening, Alice. I heard that you were injured. Is it okay for you to be texting like this?
Yes, I was. But it's my feet that were injured and my hands are fine. So it isn't a problem if I'm texting like this.
I see.
If everything heals as it should, then I should be able to leave the hospital in 1 month.
I see. 1 month. I was thinking about visiting you in the hospital on my way home from work tomorrow. Is that alright with you?
Yes, I would be glad to see you. On the other hand, though...
What? Is there something wrong?
Is Alan doing anything to you?
What do you mean, doing anything to me?
You know, pushing all of his work on you and stuff?
Oh, so that's what you're talking about. He tried to push his work on a deal with A Corporations on me just yesterday. But it was right before a meeting with some clients of ours. I was planning on going home right after the meeting was over, so I just ignored him and left.
You what? I would have never been able to do that. Good for you, Sam.
Alan would always push his work on A Corporations on you, right, Alice?
What? You knew about that?
To be honest, I thought such complicated matters like the deal with A Corporations were beyond the capabilities of a man like Alan. But still, he seemed to be getting the work done day after day. Which must mean that he's using his connections as the son of the senior director manager to make someone else to do the work. And make it as if he's the one who did it. That's what I guessed. I then began to examine Alan's actions more carefully, which is when I noticed that you were the one he was taking advantage of, Alice. Is what I'm saying wrong?
No, it's exactly as you described it. Alan's the son of the senior director manager, right? As you know, I too got into this company partly thanks to a few connections of my own.
Oh, that's right. Your aunt was the head of the Osaka department of the company, right?
Yup.
So you're worried that if you rebel against Alan, it'll have bad effects on your aunt as well.
Yup, it's basically that. Alan is threatening something along those lines, too. I can't ask my aunt or the senior director manager about it as well, for fear as to what might happen.
I see. So he's taking advantage of the fact that his father outranks your aunt in this company.
It looks like I've already bothered you by being hospitalized like this. I truly am sorry.
I'm fine. I don't have any sort of connections in this company that I could use as a shield anyways.
Well, I guess so. But isn't that a weakness in and of itself? Well, it probably still means that I'll be causing you trouble until I can get back into the office.
Oh, I see. You can't see the report that was sent to the company chat today because you're currently hospitalized, right, Alice?
What? Did something happen?
Oh, it's almost time for the lights in the hospital to be turned off, right?
Oh, you're right. I didn't notice.
I'll explain it to you in detail tomorrow when I visit you.
Alright, I got it.
Take care of yourself then. Good night.
Thanks. Good night. Thanks for coming to visit me today, Sam.
It was nothing. On the contrary, I'm sorry to have bothered you.
But still, I was so surprised. 1 more week, huh?
Sorry to have surprised you. This involves the interests of our clients as well, so I had to ask the department leader to keep quiet for as long as possible.
So that's what was happening.
Well then, I'll visit you again soon.
Got it, thanks.
Hey Sam, today for sure I'm going to make you take care of the papers involving the deal with A corporations.
You're pushing your work on me again?
I'm not pushing my work on you. You're involved in this deal with A corporations as well, right?
The work I'm in charge of involves a different deal with A corporations. Besides, someone else took my place yesterday, so I'm no longer in charge of it.
So that means you have less work to do and have all the time in the world.
No, I actually don't.
But these papers are due tomorrow. If you don't take care of these papers by tomorrow, then the company's going to receive a serious blow. You know? Take responsibility and do it all for me, will you?
If that's the case, I'll just do all the work I'm in charge of.
Huh?
I told you, the other project involving A corporations I was in charge of was taken on by someone else, right? I got questions from the person who was newly put in charge. So once I answer these questions, the work I have to do involving this matter will be done.
Sam, are you sure you want to say these things to me? My father is a senior director manager of this company. You know? You know what I'm trying to say, right?
I'm leaving this company today.
Yep, that's right. You don't want to have to leave this company after being fired, right?
Thanks for everything up until now. Excuse me then.
If you want to continue working in this company, then hurry up and do the work and submit it by tomorrow. I'm going to put a USB with the necessary information on your desk. All right? Hey, Sam! Hey, why did you just... The papers I told you to take care of yesterday. When I came for work today, the papers were in the same state as they were yesterday when I left them on your desk.
Good morning, Alan. You're already at the office? You're quite early.
These papers were due today. What are you going to do about this? Come to the office right now and do your job.
Didn't I tell you yesterday that I was quitting the company?
Huh?
Even before that, wasn't there a message on the company chat saying that I would be quitting yesterday?
What? The company chat?
Don't tell me you didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
I see. Doesn't the company tell employees to check the company chat at least once a day?
Who cares about that right now? What are you going to do about these papers? There's no way I can finish these by the deadline.
It's no use asking me for advice. I no longer work at that company. Shouldn't you tell your superiors about the situation first and ask them what to do? The data you have to organize should already be partly complete since you made Alice do it, right? You'll just have to ask one of the other employees with the skills to complete it to do the job.
That's not going to work.
What?
If I save data from the cloud, from Alice's computer, then everyone will find out that I'm not the one who did it, which is why we shared data using USB sticks. But as I was panicking earlier, I dropped one of the USB sticks and stepped on it, and now it's in pieces.
Oh, the fact that you're panicking over that must mean that you didn't save the latest version to the cloud or something. Am I right?
The version saved to the cloud was made 1 month ago. I was too lazy to update it. The newest version I saved to the USB stick.
The one you stepped on.
shit.
What a mess you've made.
Do something about it, please. Didn't I tell you to take care of this yesterday? This means that it was your responsibility.
I already told you, I quit yesterday, so there's no use making me do the work anymore.
You're lying. You said you'd do what I said because you don't want to lose your job.
Why don't you go over the conversation we had yesterday one more time?
Why?
When I said I'm going to quit today, you seem to have misunderstood me, which means that the conversation we had after that was nonsense.
Huh? Seriously, Alice isn't here either, so what am I supposed to do about this?
I already told you. Tell your superiors about the situation and ask them what to do.
But if I do that, it'll look like I made a mistake.
But you did make a mistake, right?
Give me your email address.
What?
I'll give you the data I saved to the cloud 1 month ago, so take care of it before the deadline.
That's impossible.
You'll do it even if it's impossible.
No, I won't.
Did you forget that my father is a senior director manager of this company?
Do you still not understand that that threat has zero effect on me now that I don't work there anymore?
Huh? Oh, that's right. I know. I'll bring a laptop to Alice's hospital room and make her do the work.
If you attempt anything like that, I'll do everything I can to stop you.
What? Why would you do such a thing?
Because Alice is my girlfriend.
What? Your girlfriend? Since when?
We only started going out 3 days ago, but I'll protect her no matter what.
Wait, if you think about this carefully, that makes no sense. Going out with a man who quit his job and is currently unemployed? No way that's true. Even Alice isn't that dumb, I think. At least try to come up with a better lie if you're going to lie.
I'm not unemployed. I've already decided where I'm going to be working next.
I see. It's probably no company of importance.
It's A corporations.
What?
Can I go now?
Wait, hold on. You changed jobs to A corporations? Which means that everyone will find out about me, accidentally destroying the data that was supposed to be turned in today? Quit your job there right now. Come back to this company and make it as if you made a mistake.
I didn't intend on saying this, but the next CEO of A corporations is a friend of mine.
Huh?
I changed jobs because my friend recognized my skill in making schedules. So he wants to make me his secretary when he becomes the CEO.
What?
You wouldn't listen to me, so I decided to tell you. Do you understand now that you've made a huge mistake and you won't be able to get out of it?
What? No way. This can't be true. No way. Seriously?
Goodbye. That being the case, the fact that the data that was supposed to be turned in that day was destroyed became known to everyone involved. As soon as everyone was about to give up, Alice saved the day by revealing that she had been saving the data to the cloud regularly. They were able to restart with the most recent data she had saved a week earlier. They were able to turn it in 2 days after the original deadline. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief, which is how Alan probably wanted the story to end. Unfortunately for him, though, his father was accused of being partly responsible for this incident, and as punishment, he was demoted from his position as senior director manager. Alan himself, of course, was fired. The relationship between the father and son ended there, and Alan, who had been living in his parents' house until then, was thrown out. He found a job at a factory that came with a housing in a nearby town, but one of his colleagues was injured because of him, and he was fired again. After that, there have been eyewitnesses saying that they saw him sleeping at a park. but where he is and what he's currently doing exactly is unknown.
Mona, you're already late for the wedding. Did something happen? Reply to my text if you're alright.
Hi, Nicholas.
Oh, Mona, is everything alright? I was worried because you wouldn't answer my texts, even though today's our wedding.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Let's cancel today's wedding.
What?
Sorry, I'm not going to go to the wedding anymore.
Do you mean that you want to delay the wedding to a later date?
No, I meant that I don't want to have a wedding anymore, which means that I'm canceling our marriage.
What? Why are you telling me this on the day of the wedding?
It's not my fault. I met him on the day before my life was going to change, the night before our wedding.
Him? You mean that there's another guy?
Oh, I don't want you to misunderstand, but I only started having a relationship with him since last night. It's fine if you need to ask me to pay an alimony, but don't be so shallow as to ask for a huge amount of money just because you're mad.
No matter, just come to the wedding. We need to talk this through in person, not by text.
What? But I don't want to. That's what you're telling me, but in truth, you're planning on doing something crazy like holding me captive and making me sign the marriage papers, right?
I'm not gonna do anything of the sort. If all we were was boyfriend and girlfriend, then it might be enough to agree to break up. But as it stands, we're engaged to each other. Today was even supposed to be our wedding. It's not enough to just agree to break up.
You're just making a big deal out of this, Nicholas. You're at the wedding venue right now. All you have to do is tell everyone that the wedding is cancelled because we broke up. You're making everything so complicated.
I'm not overcomplicating things. You're just taking this too lightly. Besides, who did you cheat on me with anyways? Is it someone I know?
Oh, maybe you do know him.
Who is it?
Do you know Alfred Bird?
Alfred Bird?
Oh, so you do know him.
He's the CEO of the company I used to work at 5 years ago, before I changed jobs.
I see, so that's how you know him. But this just proves that he's much more high-spec than you are. Decided to break up with you and go out with him instead was a wonderful choice.
Is that so? Then fine. Let's break up.
Thanks.
But I understand that you want to break up with me, but you're gonna regret this, you know.
Why would I regret this? I mean, he's the CEO of a company and he's so much more high-spec than you are. What reason would I have to regret it?
Is that so? I'm going to be contacting you in one form or another at a later date to discuss the various procedures and monetary details we have to go through if we're going to cancel the wedding ceremony and the marriage.
What?
I think I'm going to be hiring a lawyer for this.
A lawyer?
I ask for your cooperation.
Hey, wait a minute.
Bye then, Mona.
Hey! Nicholas? Nicholas!
Will you stop that? What are you thinking sending me like 200 texts?
You knew about this? Did you know that Alfred had a wife and children?
Of course I knew. By the way, the reason he's the CEO now is because he married the daughter of the previous CEO, who is now a member of the board of executives.
Ugh, does that mean that if he divorces his current wife and he's no longer going to be CEO?
Probably, yeah. I mean, if he was a good CEO, then he'd probably keep his job, even if he did get divorced, but I doubt the board is gonna let someone who just cheats on his wife remain in his position. I guess it's almost 100% chance that he loses his job.
No way! But then that means getting into a relationship with him was pointless.
And?
What?
What's your purpose in telling this to me?
What do you mean purpose? If you had told me earlier Alfred had a wife and children, this would have never happened.
What? You expected me to tell you after I just found out that you cheated on me with Alfred Bird. I had other things on my mind.
But
The person who cheats on their partner gets what they deserve. Even if you did never know he had a wife, it's still your responsibility. It's no use complaining to me about it. I'm currently busy talking to a lawyer about what to do about this situation.
wait, Nicholas.
Bye. What is it now? Will you please stop doing that?
Help me.
Huh?
People are hating on me.
Oh, you mean on your Facebook, your friends are bashing you for what you did, right? Yesterday, even though it was the day of the wedding, you posted a bunch of pictures of you and Alfred on your Facebook page, right? You even said something like, I met the high-spec boyfriend of my dreams, so today's wedding's canceled. This is the beginning of a new love story. And there's no way some random office worker can marry me, because now I'm a gorgeous, luxurious celebrity who's loved by a CEO.
You saw it? You don't do Facebook, right? My account is also locked, so only friends can see my page.
One of your friends sent me a picture with your posts.
Seriously?
Looks like you're getting quite the bashing. Cheater, asshole, slut, no shame, inhuman. Some of them even told you to give back their wedding gifts, right?
You even saw that?
Yeah, the pictures with Alfred you post on your Facebook page and everything related to it is all likely to become proof that you cheated on me. I asked a friend for her cooperation to take a screenshot of everything.
Stop it! It's no use doing something like that to someone you're going to be reunited with, isn't it?
What?
You see, I texted Alfred earlier that I wanted to break up with him, and he agreed to my proposal. Now we can get back together as if nothing ever happened. Then I can post on my Facebook page that the wedding is cancelled anymore. But only delayed, right? Then everyone will probably forgive me.
There's no way your friends are gonna forgive you.
Huh?
I have no intention of getting back together with you. And the hate you brought on yourself is entirely your responsibility. You brought it on yourself. Don't involve me in this. We already broke up. Don't cause me any more problems.
But Nicholas... Nicholas!
These notifications are such a pain in the ass. What is it?
I'm being asked to pay an alimony to Alfred's wife.
What?
I didn't know he had a wife. It's not fair for her to ask me to pay an alimony.
Oh, I think that's the alimony you have to pay for defaming Alfred's wife.
What? What do you mean, defamation?
I heard that during yesterday's commotion on your Facebook page, you tried to calm everyone down by explaining your actions, but it ended up having the opposite effect and made everyone even more angry. I heard from one of your friends that you insulted Alfred's wife during this explanation of yours.
But only my friends can see my Facebook page. How did Alfred's wife find out about this?
What? You seriously don't know who Alfred's wife is yet?
What is it?
Alfred's wife is Carol, the person we used to go to university with. After she graduated university, she went on to work at her father's company. That's where she fell in love with Alfred. It's workplace romance, apparently.
Are you serious? What are the chances of something like this happening?
You've been connected on Facebook with Carol since university, right? No wonder she found out so soon. She must have been shocked when she checked her Facebook feed and saw a picture of you and her husband yesterday, which was supposed to be the day of your wedding. Wonder what she thought when she read what you had to say.
No way!
By the way, I'm not an expert in such matters, but don't people have to provide an explanation as why they're asking for an alimony when they ask someone for an alimony? Didn't you get some sort of explanation that came with the notice?
Well, I guess there was an explanation. There was a sort of letter that came with it, you see? There was a bunch of jibber-jabber written on it. But I didn't have Carol in mind at that time, so I just panicked and none of it really entered my head. So maybe everything was written on that letter. I don't get any of this.
Yeah, I don't get any of this either.
What do you mean by that?
I don't really see the point in you telling me all this. I'm begging you, stop contacting me and figure things out with the people involved, because I'm not one of them. You're being a pain in the ass.
Hey, Nicholas, what is the money you're making me pay? What do you mean $50,000? This amount of money just for the alimony of a marriage cancellation is too much no matter how you look at it.
So you're contacting me again without fully understanding the situation.
What?
That money isn't just the alimony for the marriage cancellation. It also includes the cancellation fee for the wedding ceremony and the cancellation fee for the honeymoon we had planned as well.
Huh? I'm paying for it even though it was cancelled?
Of course you are. Everything was already prepared at the wedding ceremony. You just suddenly canceled on the day of the wedding. That's why they're making you pay the full price, since it was only canceled because of you in the first place.
No way!
I'm going to tell you this, so you know, that this is something that your parents decided.
What?
I don't know how much they told you, but apparently they're going to make you pay for as much as possible, and your father is going to pay for the rest. The remaining amount, the one your father paid, will be your debt to him, and he said he's going to make you pay for all of it, no matter what.
What? Hold on, it's $50,000, right? I have to pay Carol money as well. That amount of money?
Talk to your parents about it, not me. I don't care where the money comes from as long as everything's paid for.
What do you mean you don't care? You're so mean. Try to put yourself in my shoes. Taking a debt is serious even if it's from your parents.
Didn't I already tell you this before? The person who cheats gets what they deserve, whether they asked for it or not.
But...
Well then, I think it's time for me to block you.
Huh?
I only didn't block you until now simply because I didn't want to lose contact with you before I could send my lawyer.
Nicholas?
That being said, please talk to my lawyer from now on. I'm blocking you now. Goodbye.
Nicholas!
Just like that, I was finally free from the storm of notifications Mona kept sending me. Thank God. I got the alimony I asked from Alfred as well, so I'm done with him as well. Right after the incident, Carol divorced Alfred and he lost his position as CEO as well. Apparently they allowed him to have a job as a regular employee at the customer support department, so that he can pay for his children's child support. As for Mona, I was worried she would try to barge into my house, but it seems her parents were keeping an eye on her, so nothing in particular has happened. They did this and that, and at the end of the day it was decided that she would work at a construction company based far away and live at a company-owned dormitory. Her parents told me that it's a place that has strict surveillance of its employees, so she's sure not to bother you again. Seems like I can finally go back to my old, peaceful life.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.